What happens when the oppressed finally overthrow their tyrants? They build a utopia, right? Not in George Orwell's Animal Farm. Here, revolution doesn't bring freedom. It brings a new kind of tyranny, one that might be even worse than what came before. Published in 1945, Animal Farm emerged from Orwell's disillusionment with Soviet communism. He'd seen Stalin's regime betray the ideals of the Russian Revolution, and he wrote this deceptively simple fable to expose how power corrupts even the most noble causes. It's dressed as a farmyard tale, but it's really a surgical dissection of totalitarianism. The story begins at Manor Farm, where animals suffer under the drunken farmer Mr. Jones. Old Major, a wise boar, delivers a rousing speech about animal liberation before he dies. Inspired, the pigs Napoleon and Snowball lead a successful rebellion, driving Jones away. The animals rename it Animal Farm and establish 7 commandments, with the most important being, all animals are equal. At first, things look promising. The animals work together, and the harvest succeeds. Snowball is brilliant and idealistic, planning a windmill to generate electricity. But Napoleon, cunning and ruthless, sees an opportunity. He raises a pack of dogs in secret, then uses them to chase Snowball off the farm, declaring him a traitor. Now in complete control, Napoleon begins rewriting history. The windmill, which he initially opposed, becomes his idea. When it collapses in a storm, he blames Snowball's sabotage. The pigs move into the farmhouse, sleep in beds, and drink whiskey, all while telling the other animals their memories are faulty. The commandments mysteriously change to justify every violation. No animal shall sleep in a bed becomes no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. Boxer, the loyal cart horse whose motto is, "I will work harder," represents the exploited working class. He believes every problem can be solved through more effort and trust in Napoleon. When he's injured and no longer useful, Napoleon sells him to a glue factory, then lies about it, claiming Boxer died in a hospital, praising the regime. The pigs start trading with humans, walking on 2 legs and carrying whips. The final commandment is replaced with a single phrase: all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. In the devastating final scene, the animals look through the farmhouse window and can no longer tell the difference between the pigs and the humans playing cards together. The revolution has come full circle. Animal Farm operates on multiple levels. It's a specific allegory for the Russian Revolution. Napoleon is Stalin, Snowball is Trotsky, Boxer represents the exploited proletariat. But it's also a universal warning about power. Orwell shows how revolutionary ideals get corrupted when leaders prioritize control over principles. Language becomes a weapon. Whoever controls the narrative controls reality. The pigs constantly manipulate words, rewrite history, and use propaganda to maintain power. Squealer, Napoleon's spokesman, can convince the animals that black is white. The masses, represented by the sheep who bleat slogans on command, are kept ignorant and compliant. Education becomes privilege, reserved for the elite. Perhaps most chilling is how gradual the descent is. There's no single moment when the farm becomes a dictatorship. It's a slow erosion of rights, each compromise justified by necessity, until tyranny is complete. At just over 100 pages, Animal Farm packs more insight into human nature than books 10 times its length. It's painfully relevant today, not just about communism, but about how any movement can betray its founding principles. Read it to understand how propaganda works, how good intentions pave roads to hell, and why eternal vigilance really is the price of freedom. Subscribe for a new classic every week. Next up, Brave New World. Because if Animal Farm shows tyranny through force, Huxley shows tyranny through pleasure. Which is more dangerous? Find out next time.